In the 1970s, home kitchens ran on tricks so simple and effective that most of them sound unbelievable today. People weren't relying on gadgets or pre-packaged shortcuts. They were using small techniques that saved time, cut waste, and made food taste better. Over the years, most of these methods quietly disappeared, but some of them still outperform modern habits, and a few might completely change how you cook once you try them. 35. Wax paper pan liners. Grease the pan, press wax paper in, grease the top. Nothing sticks. Keep it away from exposed oven heat. It only works when batter fully covers it. 34. Cream of tartar for meringue. 1 pinch stabilized egg whites, kept them glossy, and stopped them collapsing. More reliable than lemon juice and dependable chemistry. Your grandmother never questioned. 33. Broiled grapefruit. Grapefruit, sugar, butter, broiler. The top caramelizes, golden and cheap ingredients suddenly look like restaurant breakfast. 32. Sifting flour. 3 times flour, sifted 2 or 3 times, added air, removed lumps, and produced cakes noticeably lighter and more delicate than today's dump and stir approach. 31. Ice water for wilted lettuce. Ice water with a splash of vinegar brought wilted lettuce back crisp in minutes. Nothing was thrown away if it could be saved. 30. Coffee can. Brown bread. Empty coffee cans became baking molds. Batter in, seal, steam. When the tins changed shape, the method vanished with them. 29. Baking soda for fluffy pancakes. Baking soda paired with buttermilk or yogurt made pancakes rise higher and cook lighter. Better chemistry in the bowl, no extra effort. 28. Freezing herbs in ice trays. Herbs chopped into ice trays with water or oil, frozen in portions. 1 cube later means instant flavor, 0 waste, no spoilage. 27. Low temperature, roasting. Low heat and patience turned cheaper cuts tender and juicy, producing results that tasted like they'd taken all day because they had. 26. Fork method for lemon juice. Pierce a lemon with a fork and squeeze out what you need. The rest stays sealed and fresh. No waste, no sticky board. 25. Potato peeler for chocolate shavings. Run a peeler along a chocolate bar and you get clean, elegant curls, no grater, no mess. 24. Bread to keep cake fresh. Press a slice of bread against the cut side of a cake and it absorbs the moisture loss instead of the cake drying out. 23. Paper bag for ripening fruit. A paper bag traps the ethylene gas fruit naturally releases. An accelerating ripening without chemicals, science speeding up what was going to happen anyway. 22. Vinegar as buttermilk substitute. White vinegar stirred into regular milk created the same acidity as buttermilk, triggering the same reaction in baking. No extra shopping, no compromise recipe. 21. Salting vegetables before cooking. Salting early draws out moisture so vegetables brown evenly instead of steaming soggy. Small step, noticeable difference. 20. Foil-lined broiler pans. Foil reflected heat back into the food from below, improving browning and making cleanup effortless. Less scrubbing, better results. 19. Baking soda for tender beans. A pinch of baking soda in the water softens bean skins, cuts cooking time, and eases digestion. 18. Potato for oversalted. Soup potatoes don't selectively absorb salt. They absorb liquid with it, giving mild dilution at best. The real fix is more unsalted liquid. 17. Damp towel. Reheating. Stale rolls wrapped in a damp cloth and warmed gently came back soft through steam. In a kitchen where nothing was wasted, this was just how leftovers worked. 16. Condensed soup as gravy base. Condensed cream soup into meat drippings made fast, rich gravy with no skill required. But as shortcuts like this became standard, the techniques they replaced quietly vanished. 15. Wooden spoon over the boiling pot. A dry wooden spoon across a boiling pot collapses foam bubbles on contact. It only works while the spoon stays dry, so it buys you time rather than a permanent fix. When pasta water is going over the edge, time is enough. 14. Pilot light dough. Proofing. A constant pilot light held old gas ovens at the perfect warmth for bread to rise naturally. When it went, it was replaced by proofing gadgets most home bakers don't own. 13. Campbell's Soup Casseroles. One can turn leftovers into a complete meal in 15 minutes. Creamy, filling, no skill required. It wasn't fancy, it was the plan. 12. Potato Chip Casserole. Topping stale chips crushed with butter and baked on top of a casserole added salty crunch in one move, solving a waste problem and a cooking problem simultaneously. 11. Instant Pudding Pies. Pudding mix, slightly less milk than the box says, a pre-made crust. Thick sliceable pie in under 10 minutes, no baking needed. No time for dessert, stop being an excuse. 10. Soda Pop Cake. Soda replaced eggs and oil in a box cake mix. Carbonation for lift, sugar for moisture, flavor from whatever can you grabbed. The science holds up. It just looks like it shouldn't work. 9. Savory Jell-O. Salads, vegetables, meat, and fish suspended in savory gelatine molds and served at dinner. Strange now, but at the time they were status food. Having a modern fridge and knowing how to use it meant something. 8. Oven butter burgers. Burgers in a baking dish, a pat of butter on each in the oven. No grill, no flipping, just even heat and butter melting slowly through the meat from all sides. 7. Whipped evaporated. Milk. Chilled evaporated. Milk whipped light and airy enough to hold its shape on pies, a fraction of the cost of cream, and for families who couldn't stretch to the real thing, the difference between plain and special. 6. Mayonnaise. Cake. Mayonnaise in place of eggs and oil works because mayonnaise is emulsified eggs and oil. The crumb came out moist, tender, and longer lasting. Popularized during years of scarcity, the recipe outlasted the conditions that created it. 5. Baking soda for tomato sauce. Instead of adding sugar to mass sharp tomato sauce, a pinch of baking soda neutralized the acidity at a chemical level. You'd see it fizz as alkaline met acid, and within seconds, the sauce smoothed out completely, without sweetness, without losing its tomato character, no aftertaste, no extra calories, just balance from a box that was already in the cupboard. 4. Baking soda for easy peel eggs. Adding a pinch of baking soda to the boiling water raises its pH slightly, and that alkalinity helps loosen the bond between the eggshell membrane and the white. The eggs peel cleanly instead of tearing apart in the bowl. It doesn't work on very fresh eggs regardless, but as a consistent improvement on the standard method, it earns its place near the top of this list. 3. Pressure cooker pot roast. Tough, cheap cuts of meat that would normally need hours in the oven came out fall apart tender in under an hour. Steam and intense pressure broke down the connective tissue fast, locking in flavor while cutting fuel and time. It was a method built for households stretching cheaper cuts without sacrificing the result. When slow cookers arrived, the pressure cooker quietly slipped out of everyday use, even though for speed and flavor, it still wins. 2. Potato ricer for perfect mash. Smashing potatoes breaks down the starch cells and creates a gluey, sticky texture that no amount of cream can fix. A ricer pressed them through small holes under gentle pressure instead. Smooth, airy mash with no lumps and no gumminess. Restaurant level without a single extra ingredient. The tool never disappeared. It just stopped being passed on. 1. The bacon grease jar. Almost every stovetop had one, a jar near the hob collecting the fat left over from cooking bacon. It wasn't waste. It seasoned eggs, enriched cornbread, and gave a depth of flavor to greens and beans that no vegetable oil has since replicated. Then the 1970s brought cholesterol headlines, and overnight families were told to pour it down the drain. The concern wasn't invented. Saturated fat in large daily quantities is a real risk. But the idea that bacon grease was categorically toxic while ultra-processed factory fats got a clean bill of health was marketing as much as medicine. Used occasionally and in modest amounts, it's closer to what people have cooked with for generations than most of what fills the center aisles of a modern supermarket. The debate was never really about the fat. It was about who got to decide what belonged in your kitchen. None of these tricks were complicated. They were built around one idea. Don't discard what still has value. That instinct didn't disappear because better methods replaced it. It disappeared because convenience made it feel unnecessary. So pick one. Bring it back into your kitchen this week and see what changes. And when it does, come back and tell me which 70s trick you're never giving up again.